Now at 5 o'clock, a Christmas Eve crash kills 4 people in eastern Kentucky. Firefighters were able to rescue a man from his burning central Kentucky home. And a Kentucky man talks about the minutes leading up to a tornado toppling his home.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you and Merry Christmas. I'm Sean Moody filling in on the anchor desk this morning. Even though the calendar says December 25th today, it feels a little bit more like spring out there than your typical white Christmas weather. Let's check in with Mike Linden over in the First Alert Weather Center. What we got in store today, Mike?
Well, it looks like, Sean, after a really nice Christmas Eve weather-wise, we are right back to the heavy rain and the storms today. Right now, you can see to our southwest a whole lot of rain is well on its way, packed with lightning as well. Actually seeing some spotty hail not too long ago as well. That has seemingly died down a little bit. But if we zoom in on the Welch's Creek area, you can see that close to E-Town there, that pretty big amount of rain is working its way eastward and will continue to push toward Lexington as our morning goes on. Probably not your typical Christmas weather by any stretch of the imagination. A flood watch is in effect for any of the counties in green, and that will stay with us through Saturday morning. That includes Madison County, Pulaski County, Garrett County, and pretty much the southern corridor of I-75 and pushing eastward toward the mountains, and that is to the south of 64. So we're pretty much talking southeastern and southern Kentucky that will be in on this flood watch, but nonetheless, we could still be looking at some high water for central and northern Kentucky as well. So the story of the forecast today will be the return of the heavy rain and the storms, and it's not only today that we'll be looking at the active weather. It looks like this could stick with us for the next several days. I'll take you hour by hour and show you what to expect coming up.
Mike, thank you. Tough news to wake up to on Christmas morning in Floyd County. 4 people were killed in a 2-car crash. It happened last night on Highway 114 near Prestonsburg Elementary School. Investigators say a 5th victim was taken to the hospital. We don't know that person's condition this morning. Police say one of those cars caught fire in the crash. They haven't released the names of any of those people. Also new on WKYT this morning, state police are looking for the driver involved in a deadly hit and run. The Christmas Eve crash happened in Wolfe County on Kentucky 191. State police say 32-year-old Jamie Robinson of Campton was hit and killed. They've not released any details about the driver responsible. Firefighters likely saved a man's life by rescuing him from his burning home. Last night's fire was on Heritage Drive just north of downtown Nicholasville. We're told a newly recruited firefighter ran up to the 2nd floor of that house and rescued that man who was unconscious.
They dragged him out of there.
They laid him on the ground and they're trying to revive him until the paramedics got here, but then the house started just rolling in smoke.
That victim was taken to UK Hospital. He was the only person inside the home. 3 other people live there, but they're in Texas right now. Neighbors say this is an especially difficult time for something like this to happen.
Devastating on, Christmas Eve, they got family and stuff, so tomorrow things are going to be definitely different for them. It's just a devastating thing to happen to somebody on Christmas Eve.
Firefighters are still trying to figure out exactly what it is that caused the fire, but they say they think it was an accident. Well, an early morning fire forced several people out of their homes this morning. This fire started around 2:30 inside an apartment building on Cambridge Drive off Versailles Road. WKYT's Mike Byer is live this morning to explain what firefighters think happened. Mike?
That's right, Sean. It's been a tough Christmas morning for dozens of people who had to be evacuated from their apartments, and several of them still remain out of it this morning. The fire happened here at the Cambridge Place Apartments on Lexington's west side. When first responders arrived on scene, they located flames coming out of a first-floor apartment unit. Firefighters say the fire started because of a furnace. As a result, the unit and the one directly above received significant damages. The 2 families living in those units, as well as dozens of others, had to be evacuated while firefighters put out the flames, which they say were able to put out rather quickly. Meanwhile, firefighters tell us the apartment units both had working smoking alarms, which they say is a big reason no one was hurt. Now, several people, as I mentioned, remain out of their apartments this morning, while Columbia Gas, who is behind me, they're working to make sure that the gas is good and to do their protocol and all that. So those people still remain out of their apartments this morning. As for the ones who are directly involved in this, the ones where the fire started in their apartment and the one above, the property owners say they will be taking care of them until their apartments are repaired. But for now, live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. A man now faces charges for a crash in Clay County that killed 4 people and an unborn child. Jason Gibson is charged with 4 counts of murder and fetal homicide. Police say Gibson was driving under the influence when his car crossed the center line and hit another car along the Hal Rogers Parkway a week ago today. Judy Pennington Adams, her pregnant granddaughter Tiffany, Tiffany's son Kyson, and a family friend, Charlene Lewis, were all killed in that crash. The National Weather Service now confirms an EF1 tornado caused damage in Pendleton County this week. The tornado flipped over a mobile home near Butler on Wednesday night. 3 people were inside that at the time. They were rescued and only had minor injuries. One of the people inside told us what he saw.
I was looking out the kitchen window, looking at the trees to see how bad the wind was blowing, and it wasn't all that bad. But then all of a sudden I felt the house shake. And the next time it shook, it was gone.
A tornado also damaged a nearby church and some barns. More than a dozen dogs rescued from a Laurel County home are now here in Lexington. The dogs arrived at the Lexington Humane Society on Christmas Eve, and they're among nearly 200 dogs rescued from Stephanie Fields' home last week. Fields is the director of the Homeward Bound Animal Rescue Group. She's charged with animal cruelty. The Lexington Humane Society is among the organizations who are now working to find homes for those dogs.
Going to be fixed, so either spayed or neutered, vaccinated, up to date on all their vaccinations as of today, and microchipped. So we do put in quite a bit of money to each individual animals.
With the Humane Society say they could use some help caring for those dogs. We have more information about how you can help at WKYT.com. Pope Francis used his Christmas Eve message to say that societies have become intoxicated with consumerism, pleasure, abundance, and wealth. Noting the simplicity of the birth of Jesus, Francis said excesses have led to a, quote, culture of indifference which not infrequently turns ruthless, end quote. The lights and music were festive, but some visitors to the Holy Land say there's tension in Bethlehem, the traditional birthplace of Jesus. There were Christians from around the world there on Christmas Eve, and this year's season follows months of deadly attacks and clashes that have killed 20 Israelis and 124 Palestinians. Some firefighters in Harrison County brought Christmas joy to dozens of children there. The Barry Volunteer Fire Department threw a Christmas Eve party, and thanks to some generous people, every child left with a toy.
It just can't feel any better. I mean, we were blessed, and of course, God Almighty helped with that. And I think the smile on the children's faces, and that's just pretty much what it's all about.
I think it's great that the community can do something like this for the families of the town and for people to get together as a community and enjoy the Christmas holiday.
The fire department had so many toys donated that all the kids were actually allowed to pick out more than one toy. Can't beat that. Dozens of volunteers are expected to be at the Salvation Army of Lexington today for the annual Christmas Day dinner. Volunteers will help serve food and drinks from noon to 1:30. They say the meal is a great way to give back to the community.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Certainly sounds like Christmas there. It's an annual tradition. Each holiday season, Dr. Everett McCorvey and the UK Opera Theatre put on the all-text celebration of song. This year it was held at the Square in downtown Lexington. You can watch an encore presentation today at noon here on WKYT. 5:08 now on your Christmas morning, and we are just getting started here on WKYT this morning. The official sleigh is parked, but FedEx says its trucks will be rolling on this Christmas day.
And active weather is well on its way. We're getting ready for the next round of heavy rain and storms, and today will just be the beginning of it. I'll take you to the next few days coming up.